Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Dr. Duck and this is gonna I don't know, I'm kinda over my own intros. Gonna play a visual novel called This Magical This Magical Girl is a Bitch. I don't know, I just thought it seemed kind of funny. Wanted to play it. Wanted other people to see it as well. I don't know what else to say. Kind of blanking out. Alright, let's start. It was a dark and stormy Monday. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of middle school were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spectacular anticipation.
And last but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week. Ooh. It's time to decorate your homerooms! First place gets a prize. That's right! The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party! So, put your best effort in, everyone! If you want. More info online or, around. Yeah! Keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all. Happy spooky season, mascots!
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed when good.
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors. Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident.
Exactly.
8-foot skeleton? What?
Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
I don't think so.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Oh, hey, Tabby!
Good morning, Tabby.
Tabby was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. There was too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her.
They're always sneering at me. Like they think their little cliques are too good for me.
Hey, Tabby!
Like I'm less than
What
them.
was that?
Less than human.
Man, Tabby is so cool.
Yeah, the real aloof type, like a spy or a secret agent, or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Just because we're in the same homeroom? Not a chance. Way too cool for us.
Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast, and this bullying will do that to someone. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware that this was her destiny to be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker. Hello? You good?
To rage and embarrassment bubbled through Tabby as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden something or other. Last name didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him! Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you? I don't want to be late to class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
What?
Tabby slapped a hand to her mouth, worrying she had thrown herself in unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to being questioned? She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seizing a single friendly face.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell? I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Abby watched in horror as Eden reached for her. The concept of misunderstanding. Fuck it. We're not here to be nice. We're here to be a magic girl bitch. She even knew what happened. Tabby's hand moved on defensive instinct, making contact with Eden's face. Bitch. What? This is just full of memes from what it looks like. The result smack was pitiful to hear, and Eden seemed more confused than her.
Ow!
I was just trying to defend myself. You were going to hurt me.
Who's screaming? What's going on here?
I like the adult.
Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
It's like classic Mrs. Secretary. Tabby spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabby just wouldn't move.
The hallway rapidly emptied out around them as enemy staggers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms.
I just need to get my books. Promise.
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabby?
Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no.
How could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
What? Honestly, she should have known no one would be on her side. Not even the ones in charge. Alright.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus,
Damn.
I'll give you all a pass. You better be in your seats by the time I get there. But no running. That includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but don't let them make you late.
Nice. For just a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger at all, but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabby stared suddenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class in for the 5th time that morning. But just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay attention. He decided to launch into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween anyway.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain.
Is that Cedra?
Which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling berry between humans and the other world.
A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions. But if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party. The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost.
That's a weird combination. Well, how would a vampire ghost even... How would that work? Vampires technically can't die and they technically don't have a soul. So Even if they die, they can't be a ghost. Zombie werewolf is a possible thing.
Unless. Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
No.
Oh, are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
This guy's already betting. Ah, he's a gambler. Ah. How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
Other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabby, do you have something to share with the class?
Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite student get away with talking during class, but not her. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades. It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and the glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
You already gave this presentation before.
Well, I did more research, and now I have extra footnotes.
I actually know a couple teachers that were excited about having more footnotes, new footnotes about something.
Oh, fine. I don't know how I was supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That's a cool idea. We could pretend to burn you.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class. Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide.
Yeah, that's totally not what it was, Tabby.
Yeah, Tabby would be such a good witch.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
He's just going to brush it off?
All right, kids. I'll start dividing the class decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween? There's something else that's happening around the same time. If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
Your hands shot up in the air and teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest season?
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! Harvest season is decorative gourd season, folks. Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween. But the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
Tabby turned to the rest of the lecture, only listening for what themed decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death? Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up in the air. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right?
Bam!
Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant...
Tabby sees at the injustice of it
How
all.
could they do this to me?
Tabby was the one with a special connection with skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but last year Eden swept in and snatched what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey! I had my hand up. He interrupted.
Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback as if He forgot she even existed.
Oh! Well, you can answer the next question.
Tabby gritted her teeth. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring at her. Her stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid! It's not fair!
Even as Tabby clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow and just the angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression of his face. But her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on, and the last pick for everything else.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together? This is Spirit Week, and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabby will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Oh yeah, totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
Too bad Tabby works alone.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
He even grinned at Tabby. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine as she braced herself for what was
She
coming.
looks like him too, if you turned his smile upside down.
Hey, for real, Tabby would be the best villain.
They're laughing at me now. They're all laughing at me because of him.
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
Only joking. Tabby got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Eden held out a fist towards Tabby. Tabby fixed him with her best death glare.
Classic Tabby.
Well, Tabby, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I am not working with Eden.
There's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr.
You
Teacher.
still picking Eden over me? Why? Why do they all love him so much? What do they see in a bully like him?
The class moved on, but Tabby just sat, reliving the feeling of everyone laughing at her. Soon all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spectacular. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely.
Hey, how come Tabby isn't helping?
Psst. Tabby, do you want to join my group?
It's not too late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
I work alone. Lonely Kids Club. What? They were clearly taunting her, no point in staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabby started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of class when the bell rang.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons. We can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening.
Wait, is he talking to me? What was his name again?
She had never spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before. Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Calum, and this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
Caleb patted Tabby on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her like butterflies were dancing on her skin. Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Caleb gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Wasn't that what you had always wanted? To have someone to see her? Really see her as a person worth talking to? God, my English is just not it today. Terrible, just terrible. Now here was someone who was ready to back her up at last.
Okay. We can stay behind after class then.
Perfect. I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
No. Tabby, trust me, he needs to be there.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always. I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabby crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Caleb inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing that Halloween spirit to life, Tabby bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place of sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out of the door until there was only Caleb and Tabby left. Tabby turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he became a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of control, kids could be real shitheads. There were kids who turned his lessons out. Kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said. Even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. God. A full hour? Crazy. Kids like Tabitha Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed and equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed, rumors had it last Halloween a girl with permanently gloomy demeanor had attempted to bring butcher bones in as decoration. While the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice.
Tabby, can I help you?
Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her.
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch, he was hurt by Tabby's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies, but he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
Tabby glared at him, bracing herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Damn. Tabby gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with empty space. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was he trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room.
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Damn. Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, chatting with another green-haired student. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrow but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
No!
Use your words, Tabby.
Tabby exhaled loudly from the outside. She appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
No biggie. Yes, biggie. You always get what you want.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything. Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails.
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade. Oh, wait. Oh, that was you? I totally forgot.
That's it? Do you have any idea how long it took to grow it back?
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's not funny. And Caleb agrees.
Caleb? What's Caleb got to do with this?
Her teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an uncomfortable tingling in his brow like a headache was settling in. Or worse, a migraine. You know, I'll be honest, I don't know the difference between a headache and a migraine. Isn't it the same fucking thing? They both give you pain in the head. You know. Headache-inducing children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon. Not that they ever did. Never fast enough. Never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But
Be quiet.
Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
No, it didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right, he was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
But
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
Slow even for Eden.
Please get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispery. Eden probably hurt his feelings.
Aight. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. Would be funny. I feel like this would be funny. Could hear Tabby shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best, a little brat like her. The tingling got worse, making it hard for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled, a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you? Bad students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you.
You know, I don't know who voiced them, but I feel like he might have taken inspiration from, what's his name? Father? From, what was it? The Kids Next Door? Was it the Kids Next Door? I feel like I'm missing a few words, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin. And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment. Can you guess what that is?
We backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabby. There's a fun little sticker in it for you.
Damn.
Tabby, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time. The answer is extermination.
Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her arm.
Claws?
The desk that Tabby had just been standing in front of crumbled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight.
Oh.
No, what landed and stared at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead, he or it lunged at her once more. She dove under the nearest desk, but she didn't dare to stay there for long. Tabby crawled towards the next set of tables as fast as her poor athletic figure allowed. His desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet.
Please, 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 please.
Gunning for the classroom door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob.
Of course, it's locked. Of course. Why would it work? Everything else seems to be going wrong. Why not this too?
Yeah, she could hear Warbled snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead. The polarized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again despite knowing it was no use.
Someone! Help!
Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to face through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered and he knew it. At the sight of his misshapen, uncanny, too sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them and everyone else. We just abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
There was nothing more she could do. It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before, so why would this time be any different? She just wished for once in her miserable life someone would have really truly stayed by her side.
Hey, Tabby, I'm...
What the crap?
Mr. Monster chased after the new nuisance, his jaws snapping wildly. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in panic.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your... What the bleep is this? Tabitha Bones, do something!
Tabby gaped at the little guy in alarm. She had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Just stand there! Help!
Tabby took one look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desk. It hightailed it to the corner of the room as far from them as possible.
Goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl! What are you anyway?
I'm a pixie! And I can't handle this on my own!
Mr. Monster swiped at Strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling, temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly, an unexpected Strength brightened up, snapping his finger.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just give you some candy.
Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now? Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
Eat it or we'll die! It's magic!
Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object.
No toys in class.
The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby.
Use the wand!
Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
Not like that!
Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's shot, Strength reached Tabby with surprisingly clear instructions.
The candy, Tabby! You have to eat the candy!
While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. Can't be from a stranger. Sick. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and jaws of a monster, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. But it had better not be strawberry flavored. Wait, whoa. That's a great flavor. What do you mean? Who doesn't like strawberry flavor? Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but Tabby quickly scanned the room for any signs of Strength. Had he been eaten already, she had been ready to rip it into him, demand an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft, jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A giant pom-pom obstructed part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
Well, that's new. It's okay, everything will be okay, we can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain?
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it, seems like we're stuck together. Yup, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay. I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. And my imaginary friends are freaking out.
Damn. Tabby started to shake, half crying herself at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her, and one pounced, his claws winked through the air straight towards Tabby's head. Pure instincts, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Did I just do that? How?
That's the power of strength.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
Damn.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip, maybe that candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Wrangle the monster. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched a string of skulls and caution tape off the walls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. The monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now.
Wait. Oh, there's something familiar about that monster. Those sparkles, maybe? Isn't that magic?
The decoration around Mr. Monster's legs began to tear.
Ah! Tabby, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
And cute Tabby swung.
Not like that! Wave it around!
What?
I said around! Like, around!
And while wider circles swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. Soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes.
Well, glad that worked.
The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations, biting his legs, and then looked around the room horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. It was clear from the sound level that a small crowd had formed outside. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps. They were audible from the hall and maybe even other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabby, what's going on?
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabby looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Shredded construction paper and wood dust fluttered through the air. Tabby's pride at having defeated the monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabby is something else. Did she seriously ruin our decorations?
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Is that really his name?
I'm okay. I'm alright. Okay. Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
The students removed the decoration bindings. Miss Teacher's legs wincing when the paper crafts tore in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabby could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
So horrible.
The last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself. He started throwing stuff at the decorations. That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween. You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it. We thought you were cool.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabby telling the truth?
I'll be in the nurse's office.
Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students.
Why won't he tell them?
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabby.
I can't believe this! I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault!
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen. Take a deep breath. In, out,
and elaborate.
I already did elaborate! There's nothing left to say! I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast! He was crushing desks and everything!
Real nice story, Tabby. But what does that have to do with wrecking our decorations?
My poor paper pumpkins!
We're gonna get disqualified now.
But I didn't wreck them! And I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
Enough! This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right? Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at Tabby.
We can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabby, and...
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. We've got this handled.
Caitlin's authoritative direction the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
Ah, how did I know?
Ignoring Strick's comment, Tabby focused on her attention on Caleb, unsure what he wanted with her, or if she could trust him after he disappeared on her. The last saw faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Oh, okay. I'm gonna call it here because I do have something else to do, and that is play Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm gonna do the Easter egg on Terminus with one of my friends. I'm actually gonna stream it, I think, most likely. I think I'm gonna go back to that, streaming games like COD. But we're gonna save it, and we'll continue this on sometime next week, because I'm no longer gonna do it how I used to do it. Now I'm gonna have some type of schedule. So Wednesdays are gonna be like visual novels or daily sims. Fridays is gonna be a scary type of game, which I have found a couple. There's been quite a few releases. I should have paid attention before November ended. I know I've been off for a while. I blame BO6. And then everything else, I'm just gonna find some type of normal games, maybe something I haven't played or something I haven't finished, and I'll record that. Like, I've actually never finished Fallout 4. I don't know if people will be interested to see someone else play Fallout 4. There's tons of Fallout 4 videos, but I'll do it. You'll have my comments on it, my commentation on it, my hilariousness on it. I'm not that funny, am I? To myself, I am. I make myself laugh. That's what counts. Enough yapping. I'll catch you guys later on the next episode. This is actually pretty funny and pretty good. Bye.